Hello, everybody. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. Did Trump deliver a 9/11 message to the leadership of Iran? Uh, wow. I got my own personal insights on that. But let me share, it was basically Ramadan. It's Ramadan right now, which is the holy month for Islam, where they fast during the day and then they eat at night. They can eat and party all night long and then sleep during the day. It's this ridiculous system, but this was a great time to hit them because if they're doing Ramadan, they're supposed to be fasting, except if they're, in the warrior position. So the warriors can fight. That's what the extreme radicals do. They fight while everybody fasts and they blow up their fellow Muslims normally, which is what Iran is doing right now, blowing up their fellow Muslims by hitting all around the Middle East with their drones and missiles and so forth, destroying embassies, U.S. embassies in many Middle Eastern states, and also port systems, oil systems, and I don't know. I guess we're just getting started here. So now, will this war last? 3-4 more weeks? I think so. This is the way it was when we went into Iraq. All right, so bombings, daily bombings, and then eventually we put troops in the ground, and that was the Marines. So the Marines basically rolled up a lot of stuff. So we may see some forces, I believe, along the Gulf Coast to protect shipping. President Trump has just said that he would supply U.S. naval vessels to escort tankers and so forth through the Gulf. That will probably ease the the oil prices and settle the markets down a little bit, but we'll see. All right, so 9/11. Let's look at what happened the day that Khomeini was taken out.
Donald Trump took out Ayatollah Khomeini on the 11th day of Ramadan in the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. So Donald Trump took out the supreme leader of Iran on the Islamic version of 9/11. Just pointing out the obvious.
All right. So now, just before I came on the show, I was copying some material and moving around, and I just noticed my current subscribers, right? The numbers. So I think you guys will like this one too. So, God has ways that he shares with us, that we're on the right track. And I think this is what this little number was telling us. So if you look at that, 9/11, and then that's 116. But if you flip that, that's 9/11 mirrored, right? A double whammy of truth, right? So, God does work mysterious ways. I believe that God is on our side in this one. We're fighting evil, and that's very obvious for anyone that has any kind of brain cell. And I used to say if you had two brain cells to rub together, you could figure this out. But I'm just at this point, I'm like, if you just have one brain cell, you can figure this out, right? And if you don't have any brain cells, then you're probably demonstrating against the people of Iran who are being liberated from evil. So that doesn't make sense. But, there are people out there that are doing that. And Democrats are not supporting President Trump, and other countries are not supporting President Trump, right? So this is definitely good against evil. And we have, we're starting to reveal, people that are in the supposed truth community, part of, MAGA and so forth. Tucker Carlson is very shifty, right? Now, I've liked Tucker Carlson shows for a long time, but I've been seeing some stuff from him, and I'm like I'm like looking at him in a different light. All right, so Qatar knocks down Tucker Carlson's claim Mossad agents were arrested for planning bombing. Right, he said this also in Saudi Arabia. So Tucker Carlson's claim that authorities in Saudi Arabia and Qatar had arrested Israeli Mossad agents planning bombings in those countries was shot down by the Qatar's foreign ministry on Tuesday. Why would, this is Tucker Carlson, why would the Israelis be committing bombings in Gulf countries, which are also being attacked by Iran? Aren't they on the same side? Asked Carlson on Monday in an episode of his show devoted to lamenting President Donald Trump's decision to launch a military operation against Iran. I'm like, Tucker, you're just like on a massively wrong side of this, dude. You know, you're, I know you're anti-war, but sometimes you got to do this shit to, you know, free the world of evil. Israel wants to hurt Iran and Qatar and the UAE and Saudi Arabia and Bahrain and Oman and Kuwait, he insisted. But on Tuesday, a spokesperson for Qatar's foreign ministry said that he had no information about Mossad cells operating within his country's borders, according to Al Jazeera. The Qataris' dismissal of the far-right commentator's false accusation did not go unnoticed online. In Qatar, it is a crime to publish fake BS like Tucker Carlson did yesterday. It can land you with a 5-year prison sentence or a fine that amounts to roughly $28,000. It will be interesting to see what Qatar does, given that Tucker Carlson just bought a home there. All right. Very, very interesting. There's also some other things in here that I thought was interesting. Tucker Carlson's mendacious propaganda is now even too much for Qatar. When Doha is swatting down your claims, you know you've drifted from the commentary into fever swamp delusions, submitted Mark Dubowitz of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, a pro-Israel institution that Carlson's father, Dick Carlson, once served as vice chairman of. So it looks like the son has gone 180 on, you know, dad. So I don't know. There's 555 watching right now. It's a pretty cool number. All right. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a lot of people, I believe, in countries and so forth, they're exposing themselves. All right. We're seeing who the real truthers are. And, you know, this exposure will continue until all are exposed and no one is followed that is bad. No more baddies, right? We don't like baddies, and baddies need to go bye-bye. All right, so Tucker Carlson, shame on you. Very, very disappointing. All right, so this one show that like wifey and I like to watch. We like to watch some shows, you know, after we have dinner and unwind a little bit because we work pretty hard for you guys. All right, so one of the show that we're watching right now, we watch a lot. We watch some pretty cool shows. But the latest one is Apple Plus TV Tehran. Very, very good. It's got 3 seasons. I guess they're starting season number 4. I've talked about this. The director, I believe, was found dead in her hotel room in Greece where they were playing on the production. Very strange. Was she killed by, you know, some people from Iran? Because I tell you, and I've told you for a long time that all the stress and, you know, violence that's in the Middle East has come from mostly Iran. All right. So Iran, you know, funded Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Hamas funded Hezbollah in Beirut. I've been to Beirut. Beirut is a magnificently beautiful country. I think they should run their Muslims out. Right. It's a mostly Christian place, and they have been basically kowtowing to the Muslims, trying to make, you know, everything right because they had a lot of pressure. A lot of money was coming in from Iran. And I know that because I worked there and I saw this. I worked there at CIA, and, you know, Iran basically took out a lot of agents one time. Somebody, I guess on the, you know, case officer, CIA side made a mistake, unfortunately, and it basically disclosed, you know, patterns of agents that were working, double agents that were working for us, and they were all killed. So remember that. Now, do the phone thing. Now, and it made us, we had to jump through hoops to overcome that and do, our pickups and all that kind of stuff that we used to do. And remember those phones that blew up and Hezbollah, I guess a lot of, like, I don't know how many, there was like hundreds of them. There were phones that Hezbollah had that were passing secretive information on, and they blew up on them. How about that? So payback's a bitch, right? So I say that now that Hezbollah started shooting into Israel, and Israel basically came in and spanked them hard, I think that the people of Beirut should rise up and drive those Muslims out of their country, right? Those radical assholes, they're not good. They're not good anywhere they're at, guys. I can tell you, I've been around the Middle East for 3 decades, and it sucks. It sucks. Everybody hates these radicals, but they can't do anything about it because they have so much money, so much power. It's like the deep state here in the United States and other countries. So, and of course, the deep state is part of the deep state. So, yeah, it'll be nice to see them get taken out. So, highly recommend this Tehran TV series. It's kind of the stuff I used to do when I was in that area. Not on the level that you're seeing some of this stuff, but it is basically disclosing, how the Mossad works in a lot of different areas, and they're doing a very good job, right, of trying to take down the evil that's there. And I think they've been doing a fantastic job over the last, several years, exposing this and taking this evil down, especially now that we're hitting Iran on a massive scale. Now, it does look to me that we're going to start to see more countries get involved. I think Qatar said they're going to start doing strikes. Saudi Arabia, I think, is just right on the verge of coming in. And I don't know, maybe that's why Tucker had to speak out. Maybe somebody poked him and said, you got to speak out because they're getting ready to, go in and hit Iran, make them look bad because we got, make up a story. So see how this stuff works. All right. So his father was involved in Israel, and now he's against Israel on every level. It's very suspect to me. Very, very suspect. All right. So B-2 bombers. At it again. They're having to fly all the way from their base in America for hours and hours. They did it when they took out Iran's nuclear facilities, and now they're going after their ballistic missile systems that are like these bombs they're using can go through 200 feet of concrete, reinforced concrete, 200 feet. Wow. And so they're going after, Iran's ballistic missile, which they would have used to basically hijack the world, deep state puppet, and they would have threatened nuclear holocaust on everybody, pretty much in the whole world, right? So it is good that we're taking them down. I guess they're, when they went to one of the meetings trying to go, okay, you guys need to give up this, you need to give up that. And I guess they said, well, we can make 12 nukes real quick. And they're like, okay, this meeting's over. We'll get back to you. And then they started bombing the hell out of them. So I think that's what happened, guys. So now there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to start to come out. This one former CIA officer, Chase Hughes, he's got a really good program. He discloses really good stuff. My wife Tracy follows him really well. She's been following for a while, and I'm starting to pick up some of his stuff. But here's one of the things that he just revealed. Now, this gives you an overview of what I have been looking at for almost 50 years, and he brings it into light, I think, really good in just less than a minute or so.
We've got to talk about Iran. If you think Iran has always looked like this, I want you to pause for a second, because that belief didn't come from history. It came from just a bunch of repetition. There are people that are alive right now who grew up in Iran wearing jeans, listening to Western music, going to universities, falling in love openly, and then they watch their entire country just snap into something unrecognizable. And I think the part that most people miss is that Iran didn't evolve into this. It was taken. I've done several deployments across the Middle East, and you don't survive that without learning one critical distinction that I think all the headlines just completely erase, and the difference between a people and the system that cages the people. That's a big distinction I want to make right here. And this applies to all countries. But what you're seeing right now, the protests in Iran, the crackdowns, the silence when all the internet went dark the other day, that looks like chaos. That is memory colliding with fear. And I want to prove it to you. And once you understand how that collision happens, I think you're going to realize Iran is not an exception. Iran is a preview for the rest of the world. So what we're going to talk about is not a big story about religion. It's not even a story specifically about Iran. This is a story about how any modern educated civilization gets psychologically hijacked without realizing it until it's way too late.
All right. I think that here in America, we're very fortunate because we're pointing out way before, well, not way, but well, many of us have been pointing out for way before. But I think it's really starting to get traction now that we were very close to being hijacked here in America. During the Biden administration was the last of that. I think everybody to a great extent was like, oh, hell no. And now we're starting to wake up even faster, and we're seeing more of this. So the Islamic invasion that we saw here in America that's been going on for, probably a couple of decades now, is basically being exposed. And are we going to get hurt by it? I think we're going to get hurt by it pretty significantly until we clean it up. And we have to be like you're seeing right now in Iran. We have to really hammer it, right? So we're getting a preview of what's coming. Will it be on the scale of that? I think in some cities it very, very well could be, guys.
And by the end of this, you're going to see exactly where the takeover happened and the three paths that Iran is likely to take here in the next few months.
All right. So Chase Hughes, bringing the info. Many of us have been doing it for quite some time, but, some people haven't been getting it. But I think you guys are now. I think you guys are. So I'm very pleased. I'm very excited. Let's see if I can get that sun from not coming in here and blinding us. All right. So blinded by the light. And that is such a weird song. Have you ever listened to the lyrics of that? It's like, what? Oh my God. So more information coming in about the bombings. The bombings and so forth are going to continue until we get, a change of government. All right. Right. And just like we are seeing in Ukraine, where the Nazis are being obliterated, the Nazis of the Middle East, which is the extremist, Muslims, are being annihilated. Right. So it's a sad thing that anyone in humanity has to go through this process, but it was them or us. Right. And finally, we got to the point where we're taking that seriously. We're doing the things that I've been saying for decades. Why don't we go in and hammer these guys? We're finally doing it. I'm like, holy smokes, I can't believe it. I never thought I'd see the day, but here it is. We're doing it.
Happening in this conflict with Iran that goes far beyond just a military operation. The single most advanced aircraft ever built just decimated sites that Iran spent decades building and billions fortifying. And Iranian forces couldn't even see them. They couldn't track them. They couldn't touch them. And it's just the beginning. What we're witnessing is not just the destruction of Iran's military. We're witnessing the dawn of a new era in global power, what scholars are calling technopolarity. A world where civilizational dominance is determined not by territory, not by population, not by ideology, but by technological supremacy. And I'm about to show you exactly why this changes everything. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you understand not just what's happening, but why it matters on a civilizational level with breaking news and analysis that you're not going to hear anywhere else. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. They are without equal. The B-2 bomber, the most technologically advanced aircraft ever built by human hands. A machine so stealthy that it has the radar cross-section of a bird, despite having a 172-foot wingspan, capable of flying 6,000 miles nonstop from the American heartland and delivering 40,000 pounds of precision ordnance on any target on Earth without ever once being detected. And as Ron just learned the hard way, there's no air defense system on the planet, no Russian S-300, no radar network, no underground bunker buried under a mountain that can even remotely stop it, track it, or even see it coming. In fact, it's been said, if you do see a B-2 approaching, it wasn't targeting you.
All right. So we're seeing basically the destruction through high tech, like he was talking about, of the enemies of the world. And that's going to continue. So AI systems, like we talked about the other day, we had the AI system the military was using that was like basically canked. Anthropic was canceled within hours of this operation starting, and they went with another system. Compromised AI. So they knew it. They kept them thinking that they were still going to use it. They probably saw that this, planned attack on the deep state, their systems in Iran was coming, and they wanted to sabotage it through AI systems, and those systems were shut down right at the last minute, so they couldn't scramble and try and counter that. So we're going to continue to see, positive AI systems. They have to be the systems going forward have to be, conducive to human existence, not taking down humans. All right, planning against us. They have to be programmed not to do that, and they so we don't get the Terminators and so forth out there. And then we also have to have, other systems that have God consciousness in the AI. So this is very practical. This is very possible. Some of the stuff that I've seen with the LifeWave technology that David Schmidt developed, he uses the God codes. So in the letters within the Bible they can be numerized, and with that numeration, you can determine codes and so forth to create better things for humanity. That's what David Schmidt's been doing for quite some time. All right, so that's what we need going forward. Someone that's going to design AI that will basically shut down all the other negative AI. And who are we at? Who are we at? In a race with AI? That's China, right? So we're having the Iranians that are celebrating changing from Democrat to Republican on a massive scale now. We're going to have the same thing. It's going to happen with Cubans. Once we take Cuba down and rid ourselves of that evil dictatorship and control system, then the Cubans are going to shift from, because they were told they had to go Democrat, right? When they came to America. The black community has been told that they have to go with the Democrat Party, even though after the Civil War, when Abraham Lincoln freed them, almost all of them were going Republican, and then Democrats stepped in, KKK and all that. It's like you keep on this move, we're going to kill you. So they're like, okay, we'll be Democrats then. Some of them hung, unfortunately, and some of them, who knows what they did with them. But the Democrats are very good at MK Ultra. They've been doing it for quite some time, and now we're seeing people are really waking up to it. It's very obvious. You look at any city the Democrats or any state the Democrats have run, it's completely fraudulent and, you know, corrupted and filthy and collapsing. So that's not going to go forward. So they're going to go away. I've said this for quite some time. It's just you know, you don't have to be a psychic to see that coming. It's very obvious. So then we're going to have the Hispanics. The Hispanics have already been on a massive scale going Republican. And once we clean up Mexico, then it's like full on. There won't be a Democrat left that's Hispanic, I don't think, unless they've been extremely, you know, compromised, MK Ultra type, and, you know, probably some of those cartel members and so forth that are extremely demonic and, you know, Luciferian. They're probably going to stay that way. So they'll have to be, you know, eliminated or something. Right? So we'll see how that all works out going forward. So we have almost every culture, but the Asians. So once we clean up China, which I promise you is going to happen, then the Asians are going to be on board that are Democrat, you know. So I've seen a lot of Asians coming from the Far East, coming in and, you know, talking not so good about our president. And I'm like, what? And so I guess they're going to find out too. So everybody's going to find out, and everybody's going to move in the right direction. It's just a matter, very little time left, I think, before that's actually going to be a very significant thing. But here we go. You know, the massive takedown of one of the biggest factors in controlling information. Now, I watch everything, all right? And so we're seeing some very shaky stuff. So I don't know, maybe Tucker Carlson decided to jump on board when he saw some shaky stuff going on. These things happen always in time of war. You see them, disinformation, you know, propaganda that's not real, that's not based in truth. So sometimes where they're trying to get the populace to move in a certain direction, it can backfire, right? So the people that are trying to do this disinformation or, you know, trying to lead humanity and so forth, got to be careful, because when that happens, on a certain level, many of us that are critical thinkers can see, you know, what's going on, what's happening, how things should be moving, the way they're probably going to move. But then you throw some craziness in like this, and then you got to ask yourself, well, who is doing this? What side is doing this?
Okay, so massive news coming out of Dubai right now. The strikes have landed, but are you sure that this is real? Okay, so I came across this guy who is literally living in Dubai, and he says that...
All right, so you saw how that was burning, like on the sidewalk and on the road. So supposedly a drone came in and hit the Burj, which is like the tallest building in the world in Dubai, and then also hit the mall that's there, and caused fires and damage and so forth. It's like, this is where things start getting a little dicey when someone that's there says bullshit, right?
We are being lied to. Don't believe what you see in the media. They are lying. Dubai Mall and Burj Khalifa aren't being evacuated. How do I know this? I live there. Check this out.
Yo, right now it's 3:39 p.m. in Dubai. Almost 6:45 in New York City. That's Burj Khalifa right there. It isn't being evacuated. I just got a haircut at Dubai Mall right there. Everyone is just lying about everything. Stop believing the media, fam. Turn on noties. I'll be posting live updates. And again, don't believe everything that you hear in the media.
Oh, that video I just showed you was from 6 hours ago, and Fox News just posted this from 1 hour ago. So I went and checked this guy's page. I And he posted an hour ago. Check this out.
Is Dubai right now. This is what's happening. Look at the sky. See it? Everyone looking? You see all the people panicking? I don't.
But don't worry, you won't really see much of that on your feed because everyone's too busy staring into the eyes of Jim Carrey instead. However this is or isn't Jim Carrey, I seem to be seeing this guy a lot more on my feed right now rather than what's actually going on in these war zones. Now, I'm not making any claims. I'm just reading the words of a guy who genuinely lives in the streets of Dubai right now, who is reporting on the street coverage of the same places that are supposed to be evacuating from war. But as always, this was all just for entertainment for the sensory reasons. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
All right. So, you know, Jim Carrey, I guess the guy that was the imposter that wore a mask of Jim Carrey has come out and has talked about that, you know, disclosed. And even Jim Carrey said, if anyone ever comes out and said, in my retirement and says they're me, that's bullshit. Right? So then this guy comes out and it looks very funky. It looks like a funky Jim Carrey, just like we saw funky, you know, Joe Biden's over the years and all kind of crazy stuff. So, you know, is it high tech or these robots? Because I tell you, man, sometimes when we saw Joe Biden walking, it sure looked robotic, right? So clones, robots, body doubles with masks. We saw some of the masking that was coming off of Joe Biden. Remember when he was like biking that one time and he fell over? He had like 20-year-old legs, right? And he fell over, and it's all being, you know, revealed more and more. You know, so why was that, you know, Burj and the mall, why were they showing that it was burning? It looks like they had a burn pit that was going on in the Burj in some kind of you know, I don't know, outdoor facility. And so is some of the CGI probably. So you have to be very heads up. Don't get too distracted by different things like Jim Carrey. That was very obvious, very, very easy to see through that. But, you know, hopefully Jim is in witness protection and spilling the beans about Hollywood. It's possible. You know, when he became an artist, his art looked demonic to me. I've seen some of his art, and he was making some very, very nasty comments about President Trump. And that was after, you know, he was going through this period where he was, you know, spiritually exposing stuff. I was like, wow. This guy is like, you know, he's on. And then there was a transformation into this, you know, demonic painter guy. And he just like constantly attacked Trump. So interesting. Yeah. And again, you just have to look at, you know, all the things that are going on out there and just, you know, stay chill. You know, don't get hooked by anything. Don't go off on tangents saying this is all fake and then you get burned, right? I've done that once or twice. So I know you just kind of like hang back and you watch things. It's like, it doesn't seem right. Wait for it. And then eventually, you know, the information is going to come out like it did for Jim Carrey. All right. So B-1Bs, Lancers conduct deep strikes in Iran as part of Operation Epic Fury. They can drop a lot more bombs. Boy, I've seen those B-1s dropping bombs low level. Ooh, my God. And they're fast. They come in, whoop, and then dropping bombs low level. It's like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Good thing they're going fast so they don't get blown up. Now, we have lots of kamikaze drones. I was wondering if the U.S. has been, you know, doing due diligence like the Russians and the Ukrainians. And sure enough, America seems to have a lot of good drones. So, of course, we just saw B-2 stealth bombers. Now, the problem with that, where they're having to come all the way from America and get refueled multiple times going in and out, is because the Europeans don't want us to land on their bases like Diego Garcia. So we had UK said, no, we're not going to let you do that. And Spain just said, we have to have international laws and treaties and so forth. So you can't fly your bombers and jets and so forth from our base. Our base, excuse me, we built that base, right? So we should be able to use it any way we want. So President Trump has said, F you, Spain. We're like cutting off all trade. And you guys suck. I can tell you that Spain sucks, right? I was in Iraq in the early days in 2003. And I was in Diwania, which is kind of close to the border. We were getting, shelled and all kind of crazy stuff every night. The Spanish were there. The Dominican Republican guys were there under the Spanish. The Spanish decided to hightail out. They're like, and I remember they came to me, former E7 Navy SEAL chief, and they were asking me for what they should do. I was like, okay, so I had these three colonels. One was American, one was Dominican Republic, and the other one was Spanish. And they're like, what do you recommend? So I gave them a game plan. They were doing really well. And then their country, Spain, decided to just pull everybody from the operation, which left us hanging really bad, made us very vulnerable. Now, I left that base and started working directly for the CIA. I was working with the State Department there. But the Dominican Republic was going to pull out too. So the Americans were going to have to pull out of there eventually because they couldn't man the walls and all that kind of stuff. So, not much has changed with Spain. They still suck, right? They still have no cojones. And, after, they kowtowed to the Muslim side, they're like, oh, Muslims, radical Muslims, la, 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 la. And then they went back to their country and they got bombed in their subways right after they got back. So there you go. You can fight them over there or you can fight them in your country. We're going to find out because of Biden administration that we're going to be fighting them here, right? So that's frustrating. The many enemies within the gate. Now we have a lot of different, command and control places that we're hitting in Iran. Let me pull up this other screen where you can see some of this stuff. So it takes time to hit all this stuff. I mean, it took them, almost 5 decades to build all this stuff. So we're going to knock it out in a few weeks. Command and control centers, IRGC, joint headquarters. And when you watch, and if you watch that, show, Tehran, you're going to start to see the IRGC. Now, there were at one time a lot of Jews in Iran. That goes back thousands of years, right? And they've always gotten along. But when the radical Islamists came, the Jews had to leave, right? Because they're just friggin' radical. They don't work with anyone else, guys. Christians, Jews, it doesn't matter. Now, I guess there's an underground Christian movement that has a lot of people that have joined it, the fastest growing in the world. Kind of reminds me of Rome in the early days before Constantine basically said, it's cool, it's okay to be a Christian in Rome. But before that, they were, in the Colosseum, lions were eating them and they were like chopping them up and all kind of crazy stuff. But Constantine made it okay to be a Christian. That changed a lot of stuff. IRGC, they don't like anybody. The Islamists don't like anybody, guys. And we got a lot of them in our country. We're going to have to get rid of them. So ballistic missile sites, like you saw for the B-2 bombers are hitting them. Iranian Navy ships, all the Navy ships are sunk now. Iranian Navy submarines. Haven't heard about them. Maybe they like sunk down, slipped away. But our submarines have probably taken them out. And we're just keeping that quiet. All right, anti-ship missile sites, military communication capabilities, and so forth. So we're using B-1, B-2, B-52 bombers now. That's right. B-52 bombers now.
It is a testament to the power of the United States military, the best military on the planet by a mile. Nobody comes close. No military on the planet could hit 1,700 targets in a 3-day window. But let's scroll down to here. What do we see here? Just today, CENTCOM announcing that B-52 bombers have entered the war and have rained hell down on Iranian targets. Why is this critically important? While we're talking about the B-52, I'm going to throw this bad boy up on the screen for you. That is a B-52 bomber right there. Why is this critically important? A B-2 bomber, a B-52 bomber, I should say, not B-2, B-52, my bad, is...
Now, these B-52s are unbelievable. I think they've been around like over 60 years now. It's crazy. They keep upgrading them, and they just keep on going. But you see all of the, bombs that they can carry. They carry a lot of stuff. I've been on one of these before. It's pretty cramped. Not a lot. It's not a comfort place, but you can, get a lot done there. And the guys that fly these are absolutely amazing. So we're kicking ass over there. And, all the people that are coming in and saying that, are we going to run out of missiles and so forth? And some of these are former military. It's like very disgusting and frustrating to me to hear some of these people, former colonels and so forth. But they're coming in and saying, "Oh yeah, we don't have the missile systems to last that long." And Trump has said that, pardon-moi, but we have a lot of missiles, and we will be able to do this for a very, very long time. So they are getting hammered. So this will continue. These Islamic Nazis are basically being destroyed. And when I think about it, it's like, well, maybe they could just surrender. This is probably what Tucker Carlson's saying. They could just surrender, and they probably would if President Trump wasn't over there bombing them. Like, no, they're going to surrender when they're all gone. There's going to be no one left, and that's going to be pretty much the way we want it. All right. So some of them will probably slip away, but the people will know, and they'll hack them up. All right. So there won't be any of these people left that are evil. All right. I guess some people are starting to turn, and those are probably good moral, high integrity type people that just get forced into being part of this IRGC, and that's some of the stuff you'll see in that movie or that series Tehran. How they basically come in and control everybody. You just get they see an angle of maybe you helped, maybe they think you helped Israel. You're going to hang, and they're going to publicize it, right? So they've been brutalizing the Iranians for a long time, guys. So I would say probably millions of Iranians have died. And then the same thing around the world, right? Iran has been, fomenting even in South and Central America, guys, right? So it is death by cheese grater, Scott McKay. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, slow, methodical cheese grater. Yeah. Ooh. So I wouldn't want to be in charge of doing that one. I just toss them in, wood chipper, look a lot quicker. But messy, and, guillotines, messy, probably the best thing, easiest thing is, hanging high. Right. And that's the way it's been done for a long time. Now in Iran, way back in the day, they did the impaling, where they would put somebody on the shaft and, start them out there, and their muscles would tense, and, keep them from being impaled for a while. And then those muscles will get tired, and then they get impaled a little bit more, and then impaled a little bit more, and eventually it'd come out top of their head. So, yeah, they're pretty brutal. I don't see us doing those, but these radical types have been around for a long time, right? And they need to be cleaned up. All right, so let's go off track a little bit. We're talking about extreme evil and demonic forces and so forth. Let's take a look at Gavin Newsom. All right, Gavin Newsom. Let's talk about evil and demonic. Let's see what Gavin Newsom has to say.
Force fed the book that we submitted. And by the way, I'm very proud of that book as well. And it's written. I mean, if you want a book about COVID, you want a book about.
You were at the whole thing. You were at the whole thing, not just sample chapters.
Oh no, the book is 100. I mean, we thought it was 99% done, and we'll get in, and it gets into all those things that that critics or pundits may want to get into eventually. But
so California was the worst state for lockdown. And California is probably one of the healthiest places in the world. And Gavin Newsom locked the hell out of California.
So that one's ready off the shelf, and all I have to do is push send. But no, look, I just Mark, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know that anyone cares to see it. I'm on the other side of a lot of things right now. I'm just I've been shapeshifted in the last.
Shapeshifted? You mean like into a bat or like a wolf or something like that? You vampire boy, right? So what these people are like in our face with this stuff, guys. So the guy absolutely looks like a vampire to me. I think he is. We'll see, right? And who knows? A book on that 19 thing. So I am on YouTube, and YouTube is a little tight these days. They're looking for problem people like me. All right, so I try and keep it on the up and up. And if you got that thing in the arm, it's like, yeah, you had the choice. There was a lot of information out there, like from people like me, as long as we could keep it out there. But we got shut down, of course, quite a bit. But you had the option. 70% of people got it, and I've heard that unless you've been cleansing yourself and detoxing and so forth, there's a 5-year window on that, 5 or 7 years. So is that mean? Because we've already seen a lot of people go bye-bye on that. There's hardly anybody that I talk to these days that doesn't have like family members that, it seems like it was like 3 days. It was like a 3-day thing for a lot of people. In 3 days, bye-bye, right? And then of course, you got, cancers that like just skyrocketed. People that had a lot of that stuff in remission, it came back with a vengeance and they were gone, right? So it's very tragic, but, still people, getting those boosters and all that kind of stuff, and, getting their kids boosted, and 72 things in the arm for kids. I guess we've had, fortunately, and I hear from people are like, we went from 72 to 12. Why don't we just go to 0? Like, come on. That's a big boost in the right direction. Some of these things take a little time. All right. You can't just like go all stop. Everybody's going to fly through the door of the train and fall out and get run over. So get all busted up. And so let's slow it down and get it off and get them off, and get them loaded onto buses that push that stuff, and get them on down to the harbor, put them on those ships, and go down to that spa place where they can like enjoy. We can anchor those ships and sink them so that in case there's this category 6 hurricane comes in, they'll stay, right? They won't get blown away. And there'll be a geriatric hospital there. They've been building on it. Another $500 million went into the spa, according to Juan O'Savin. 69 or 79 more rooms, for there's probably like names on some of those rooms, and they're just waiting. And they did have two, courtrooms that could be televised. The military tribunals, but now they've increased it to 3 more. So 5. Boy, they can like just run through. You can probably do 5 a day in each one of those, right? And who knows? Maybe they'll have to, with all the people that need to go down there and hang out in the spa and get a little rub around the neck, release that tension around the neck, right? So there's gonna be a lot of people seeing that, right? Now, we have to watch the markets. The markets, they jigged down quite a bit today, but they started to come back. Who knows what's going to be happening tomorrow? Was this a zig and a zag, and it's going to be zigzaggy back up? That's the way this crazy market's been working. At some point, all the shorts, all these bank shorts and so forth that are here in the United States are going to get expended. They're going to push the prices down and jump out of their short positions and only lose billions instead of trillions. And then it's going to be fly, Robin, fly up to the sky. So fly, Robin, fly, little silver coins, fly to the moon, right? And then on to Venus, the love planet, because we love it. All right, so back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then it's going to reach that one point, just like we saw on the lead up to 50. And 50 was like that one place where they had that big, 50-year period of where they were manipulating the market, a cup, and then the handle. And then the handle came up to 50, and it was like, bye-bye. It's boom. Like, wow. You guys are like really suppressed, weren't you? You're out of the box, and now you're just like dancing and going and flying around. So that's what we're going to see with silver. At some point, it's going to happen when it happens, right? Get your silver and be happy, right? That's what I recommend. Get your silver on every pullback, and every pull. It's like $100 a pullback. I got a bunch more at 100. All right, and you're like, oh, you didn't make out. Well, I got it a lot of it 17, a lot of it 20, 22, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, all the way up, guys. So now when it goes up to 400 or 500 sometime later this year, you'll be like, those of you that did get in will be like, I should have listened to Mike. But those of you that did are very, very happy, and you're going to be happier. Trump cuts off trade to major ally after European nation booked U.S. on Iran war. And that's, like I said before, Spain. Spain is getting spanked. Spanky Spain, right? Bad. Baddies go bye-bye, right? So the Spanish government refused to allow the U.S. military to use its bases in connection with the strikes on Iran, saying the facilities must operate within the framework of international law. Now, speaking of military tribunals, wasn't there a Spanish Inquisition? Spain, little karma maybe for you guys? So, I don't know. Spain has been terrible, Trump said. In fact, I told Scott Bessent to cut all dealings with Spain. First of all, it started when every European nation, at my request, paid 5%, which they should be doing. I think he's talking about NATO. And everybody was enthusiastic. Germany, everybody. But Spain didn't do it. And now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases. And so I told Bessent, Spain is absolutely nothing that we need other than great people. Maybe the people need to, do you guys in Spain need a little help, like we're doing in Iran? So I think President Trump would be happy to help you out. I would be happy to help you out because you are great people, but your government is shit and has been for a long time. So NATO would not agree to go up to 5%. So we're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain. Bye-bye, Spain. All right. You baddies, you go bye-bye. So we got, military fleet base in Rota, Spain. I always heard about it. I did stop in Spain one time and had some great food along the coast, right? And they spoke English. So I was very happy about that. And they're very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice people. But obviously, that doesn't go for their government, right? Trump has previously criticized Spain for refusing to increase defense spending 5% of its gross domestic product. So they just want the U.S. to do all that, right? So that they can take all their money and get, I don't know, let me think what I got that in Spain that was really yummy. Seafood was like exceptional, right? It's pricey, but it was exceptional. And they party into the night. I remember the hotel we're staying at, there was like had to walk to my hotel, and the streets, the boulevards and the squares were full of people that partied all night, right into like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then they finally started winding it down. But they're like the Italians. They come out late, they eat their dinner late, and then they party the rest of the night, right? It's like, what a life. What a life. All right. So I guess the party is going to stop because they're not going to have much money going forward, because America's going to be like, bye-bye. And we've been paying you for these bases to use them. I don't think so. And anytime you send anything to America, we're going to like jack up the price, right? So U.S. shuts its embassies in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait after being hit by Iranian strikes. Now, I want you guys to think about this a little bit, just a little bit. So these bases that are getting hit in the Middle East, are we going to need them after Iran's gone? Are we going to need those great big embassies once Iran is gone? Yeah. So if they get hit, or maybe Mossad agents are blowing them up on purpose so we can like get out of them, I don't know. So, why not? So there's this crazy stuff that's going on right now. So I think that we're going to see at some point, all of the destruction that's going on there in the Middle East. America's going to go, yeah, I don't think we're going to like rebuild those bases. You got it. Right? We're out. Thanks so much. So we did what we needed to do. And I know you guys are going to prosper because of what we did. So we'll tariff you guys a little bit, to make up for it. But other than that, let's all trade and have a good time. So that's what's going to happen, I believe. All right. So other things, Dubai was also hit by Iranian drone, supposedly. All right. So I'm just going to say supposedly because we saw, those buildings that were hit, and I'm like, yeah. But the consulates and the embassies and so forth, if they took a direct hit, they're done, right? They're not that big. And so I know in Iraq, they built a $1 billion embassy, and also in Afghanistan to withstand, that's why it cost so much, to withstand RPG hits and mortars and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. That looks real. Looks like a real fire, and maybe it did crash into the front of the embassy or consulate, whatever it is. So embassies are where the main, the big buildings usually for their embassies. Now, the ground that these embassies are on is basically U.S. property. And that's where every embassy everywhere or consulate anywhere in the world. Consulates are usually in other far-reaching places like in Islamabad. That's where the embassies at. And then you have consulates in Karachi, Peshawar, and also in what's the other one? I spent a lot of time there. I should remember. So, but of course, for whatever reason, my memory is not all that good these days. I guess we're going into the new Earth, so it goes over there and it plays Lahore. So Lahore, so 3 different consulates and main embassy. So that's what you see. They put smaller consulates in other places so they can help out the people in those areas that want to learn about America and get passports and so forth. So, and that's where the CIA works out of. So it all works really good, and CIA pays for most of that, so don't worry about it. So if these get blown up, that's CIA money. Usually not taxpayer money. It comes from other sources. So, trafficking and all kind of other stuff. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. I cannot confirm or deny anything that I say is truthful when it comes to the CIA. So, hey guys. So now here in America, 2 states working on game-changing plans to give civilians opportunity to own machine guns. Why would that come up now? Why would that come up now? So in what are these states? We have a state in when I say these states, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, they definitely need it. And that's Wyoming. Wyoming, it's a cowboy state. They got like the bucking Bronco with a cowboy on it. So yeah, those cowboys they're gonna have machine guns on their horses now. So, and West Virginia. I'm not so sure about West Virginia. Those mountain folk are a little bit hillbilly out there, but I'm sure they can handle their guns. So they're like, okay, West Virginia, during the Civil War, we broke West Virginia off from Virginia. And that's because the North could come in and, cleave it off. And it should have rejoined, but it never did. And so we got West Virginia. And West Virginia, it's a little backward, right? So I think that's because have they had a lot of Democrats there? That would make sense. I don't know. It could be, but now another one could be Montana. Montana, of course. So another, good state. I know there's a good Republican governor there in Montana. There's a lot of Montanans that are very gun loving. But you'd be surprised because there's a lot of Californians have moved to Montana. It's not the same anymore, from what I'm hearing. So I don't know if it get passed in the Montana now. Wyoming, I guess because it's so mountainous and they got the Devil's Tower there and all that kind of stuff. Democrats, just haven't taken that over yet. I don't know. So West Virginia, that'll be cool. Now I want them to do in Nevada, where I'm at. So come on, let's go. But I could probably get a license for it anyway for my background, but maybe not. Maybe there's been some very bad things have been said about me. I know there have been, and maybe they won't allow that. So I'd have to, have the state basically make it okay. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. Soon, will we need those big, heavy weapon machine guns? It's very possible, very possible. And another thing that happened, I guess, sometime, when we go to sleep, that's daytime for Iran. Sometime while we were sleeping last night, they basically attacked a meeting of the Iranian Supreme Council, and they leveled it. So they were supposedly meeting there to select a new leader. So I can tell you, like when I was chasing terrorists all over the world in many different Middle Eastern countries where they all like to congregate, and their Muslim radicalism seems to be beneficial for them to be radical and kill people, blow them up and blow themselves up, and throw acid in beautiful women's faces because they don't wear their hijab. I don't know. But they were having a meeting, and they got blown. I don't know where that came from. Blown. You could use that if you want, but it sounds kind of silly. They get blowed up. All right. So blowed up means you don't make any decisions. Maybe they made a decision before that, because I heard that Khomeini's son was chosen. There will be bombs looking for him tonight. Right. So where is Khomeini's son? Where can he be? Boom, boom. So that'll be the calling card. Just like when we took down Iraq, there was like, okay, the deck of 52. You guys remember that? The deck of 52. So my bros and the SEAL Team 6 and Delta, every night, boom, boom, went those doors, and bang, bang went the guns. And those cards, is like every day, it's like less and less and less and less people that needed to be rounded up or shot. Right. So there's been, like, I think before this explosion, I have probably done a body count on them yet, or maybe Iran is not going to give up the numbers, but there was like 49 or 79, some crazy high numbers of bye-byes, right? So, and that's the way it was when I worked in the Middle East, guys. When I hunted terrorists, my groups, we hunted terrorists, we were very effective. Oh my God. It's like, you guys are really stupid. Don't stand up and take leadership, because you're going to die. All right. But there were people that believed in, the protection of their God, Allah, which I don't think it worked out so good for them. All right. So missiles and, like OBL, I helped find him. And then my old team, Red Squadron from SEAL Team 6 came in and made him go bye-bye. And then it was like, for a while, there was just like no one in Pakistan just wanted to say, I'm in charge. It's like they just went silent. And then it was like a crumbling of a lot of those organizations. Same thing's going to happen in Iran. All right. Somebody's going to step up and say, I'm in charge. And then the next day they're blown up. And somebody else is going to be, I always wanted to be in charge. Boom. It's like, you guys still haven't gotten it yet? So it will take a little time, because they're not very smart. They're not very smart, guys. All right. So that's going to, and I hear all these people saying that Iran has a great plan, and they're just going to wear down America. You guys that say that are like, there's no respect for you guys, right? You're going to find out just how stupid you are. And I hope from that point on that you never come on and you give your opinion, right? Because it is dumb. It's dumb. And it's obvious at this point, it's dumb, right? So keep it up. Keep it up. Be stupid if you want. All right. So, and expose yourself. It's like, and then you don't come on to any other shows in the future, unless you come on your own show. And I know a lot of you are like, well, Mike, you have your own show. It's like, yeah, because I put up good stuff. I get a lot of people watch me, and I go on other people's shows, and a lot of people watch me on other shows. And that's great. So I guess I'm still relevant after all these years. Still got some good insights. All right, so yeah, these guys will stand up and they'll go bye-bye. Somebody else will stand up, they'll go bye-bye. So this is a process. It's a process. It's pretty ridiculous, but it has to happen, right? Because you're dealing with people that are not very well educated, except in a certain, mindset. They're very clever when it comes to blowing people up. They can get in there and do that. Usually get a lot of help. Wear some boom boom on their shoes. They got exposed. Yeah, I just saw now that they're not checking the shoes anymore. You knuckleheads. So probably going to be another boom boom in a shoe, and this one might be effective. So I don't know. Watch those flights out there. It's going to be pretty hairy going forward. You guys are going to have to be very, very careful. All right. So just be heads up. Trust your intuition. Stay in the love vibration, and you'll do well. All right. unleashing intuition secrets. All right. You be unleashing intuition secrets. You be safe. All right. See you guys next time.